It's been so long since you smiled. Tell me where you left an empty child. Oh, let's have a feast on those who least expected this. The time is now, I swear we won't regret it. Won't regret it. Yeah, we stay there under stars in the shelter of the dark. Addicted.
Hello there everyone, and welcome here to the RedBull SuperCar Tour for the Denver race here. Been a while since these guys been on the track. Last time they were on track was at Watkins Glen, where it was Marcus Sachi capturing the win. Speaking of Sachi, he will start on the pole, followed by the 7 of Mark Owens. And you have the 11, I have to try and remember the names. You have the 11 and the 29 right there starting next to each other. Then you have Casey Nanako in the 28, followed by Jonathan Scull in the 42. You have the 23 of Jesus, I'm trying to remember the names. Fitzwater in the 17. You have Zachary DeLello, and then you have the 8 right there of I want to say Tyler Fontaine if I'm not mistaken. And here's the rest of your starting lineup from 11th on back. So the standings are really tight. Fitzwater only have a 3-point lead over Marcus Sachi. Let's get you down to the commands real fast.
Drivers, start your engines!
Drivers have been given the commands. They're going to start to roll off the grid here. So like I've mentioned before, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. is the points leader, 3 points over Marcus Sachi, who gained 2 spots after winning last race at Watkins Glen. Third in the standings is Casey Nanako, and then there's Zane Davidson and Ramian Fisher. That is your top 5 in the standings. So a little bit of different challenge for these Red Bull drivers. This is road course mixed with an oval, of course. They haven't really been on oval with these cars, and some drivers just haven't been on ovals at all. So really interesting to see how this race plays out. But here we go, Marcus Sachi in the 38, followed by Owens in the 7. And they're going to take the green flag as the crowd is on their feet. We are green at Denver. And that's actually Trevor Collins in the 7. I apologize about that. But Marcus Sachi with the race lead. A lot of drivers slipped up just a little bit, Xing it off corner number 2, now into corner number 3. This is a trouble spot for the open wheel drivers. There was a big wreck right there, but looks like everyone's going to get through that corner just fine, as the first 3 drivers are now single file. Marcus Sachi trying to pull a gap on 2nd place. John Sizemore is the one in the 11. Back here, there are 3 wide. Fitzwater did not get a good qualifying position, as he's going to look to try and make his way, and Fitzwater goes around. DeLello collects him as well. Zachary Fitzwater Sr., your points leader. Oh no, and that's definitely going to hurt the 17 in the standings right here. I believe DeLello just got into. Looks like that's Alex Banyako, and then came down into Fitzwater. Fitzwater nearly saved it, but overcorrected it and ended up going around as well. Oh man, yeah, right here, DeLello just overshot the corner. Banyako did a really good job of saving it, but his teammate Fitzwater Sr. almost did, and just couldn't quite get the car to correct itself properly and ended up going around. But tough break for the points leader of Fitzwater Sr., and he's not going to be happy about that. Fitzwater, who won here in the Procore IndyCar Series, was trying to do it again, but it's not going to happen. But most everyone is now single file, as Marcus Sachi, coming fresh off of a win from the Procore IndyCar Series out there at Toronto. So he had to make his way down here to Denver, and he's trying to win it here again. John Sizemore having a phenomenal run right now in that 2nd position. Marcus Sachi's teammate Nanako's right there. There's the 29. of Zane Davison having a really good run. Let's run on board with the 29 here. Davison currently seated in the 5th position. As Fitzwater can imagine the frustration going through the 17s and that team right there, the points leaders. And now here comes Casey Nonaco making a move underneath John Sizemore in the 11 for a second, trying to run 1 and 2 with his teammate Wakasachi, who's currently leading. And he's going to clear the 11. 11 kind of overshot the corner just a little bit right there. He's going to drive it in and try to stay in front of Trevor Collins in the 7, and he does. And everyone's once again back to single file. Casey Nonaco on the move, trying to make it 3 wins on the season. He's going to have to hunt down Marcus Sachi. Sachi's been really great on these road courses as of late. He's got most of his wins on them, and it's showing right here where it's showing why Marcus Sachi is really good on these road courses and why he's really hard to beat. Not just Fitzwater and some of the other guys. As we go through, most everyone is single file. There's 17 currently dead last. Apologize about the noise in the background there, but Casey Nonaco overshot the corner just a little bit right there. If he's going to try and catch that 38, he's going to need to drive it in the corners, and see right there, Marcus Sachi gets a really good run off that corner. He got a really good corner. He's going to put some gap between him and the 2nd place car of Casey Nonaco. John Sizemore seated in the 3rd position. So they go through the S's right here, really slick part of the racetrack. Drivers end up sliding around. Sizemore got a really good corner right there. He's going to try and drive it in to try and get to 2nd. There's a 12 of Ramy Fisher, 1 win this season. And the only repeat winner is Casey Nonaco, currently running 2nd. As we go through, looks like most everyone's just single file here. As the 2 Mitsubishis currently running 1 and 2, led by Marcus Sachi. As you get to see a really cool shot here, drivers flying out of corner number 2 and inner 3. Couple side by side. Back there, Richard Mendez and others. Looks like the 7 of Trevor Collins, he was trying to get by the 7, but got really loose in that corner right there. Side by side, Jonathan Skull, Carter Joey had a really phenomenal run at Watkins Glen, was really fast, was keeping up with the leaders, and he's having a solid performance right here as well, trying to get into the top 5. They fly down through the downhill S's. Denver is a pretty busy weekend for this track, as the National and the Cup drivers will be coming here as well. 2 Mitsubishis continuing to run 1 and 2. Marcus Sachi being hunted down by his teammate Casey Nonaco. Got another really cool shot through the big S's right here. Most everyone's single file, no one really making a lot of moves. Side by side right here, Chad Matthews and furthermore in that number 4, not 42, can't remember what number that is. Side by side right here once again, here comes Trevor Collins trying to make a move underneath the 11. He's going to clear, and a big move by Trevor Collins, battle for the lead now, as here comes Casey Nonaco trying to get to the outside of Marcus Sachi, but is that the preferred line? It's really not, as they're going to head down into corner number 1 and then out of 2 and then into 3, a couple of left-handers. But the 2 Mitsubishis running side by side. Look at Nonaco sticking it out there on the outside, and he's trying to make it work, but Sachi once again is going to have the preferred line in these next few corners. Casey Nonaco not trying to give up on the outside, but he's not going to be able to get around on Marcus Sachi as Sachi clears for the lead. And once again, everyone just mostly single file. Richard Mendez and Mark Owens back here currently battling side by side with each other. Both drivers haven't really been having much luck this season. Neither has won a race, and they're pretty deep in the standings as well. Another 14 of Schmidt-Peterson right there as well. We haven't talked much about these guys all season long, but they're racing really hard in the back here. So we head back up towards the front. Looks like the 28 is trying desperately to catch the 38, his teammate. Marcus Sachi has the win. He won at can't remember what it was. I believe it was Clark, where Sachi scored his first win of the season. He's trying to get win number 2, trying to join his teammate. But we're going to take a quick commercial break here at the Denver Speedway. We'll be back as Marcus Sachi is out front. Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, to Denver Road Course. As out front, Casey Nanako has hunt down and passed Marcus Sachi in the 38. So we're going through the field, a couple side-by-side battles right here. Got Remy Fisher and Tyler Fontaine running side-by-side. Fisher has kind of been off pace here in the Red Bull Series as of late. He has one win, but hasn't really been up here with the leaders lately. But you see the top 5 is a bit spread out, the top 10 rather. No one really racing too hard. But out front, Casey Nanako has passed his teammate Marcus Sachi for the race lead and is now trying to distance himself from the 38, trying to get win number 3 on the season in that Mitsubishi ride right there. Marcus Sachi is gonna have pressure from Trevor Collins in the 7, but he needs to not worry about Collins. He needs to try and make, hit his marks and try and catch that catch that 28 in hopes to get the lead back, as they'll be coming with 2 to go this time by. As they go through the S's, no mistakes. Looks like Sachi just slipped up just a little bit. He's trying to get a really good run, trying to catch that 28. Looks like no one's going to make any mistakes, but here we go. 2 laps remaining. Or actually, it's the white flag. I'm thinking it's 8 laps. It's actually the white flag here at Denver. My mistake. That's Casey Nanako. He's been so dominant on these road courses as of late. He's been there battling side by side for race wins most of the season. And as I've mentioned, Casey Nanako currently sits in the 3rd position. He lost the points lead after last round, but currently sits 3rd in the standings. And if he's able to capitalize with the win here today, that'll be huge for that driver and team. If they can capitalize. Fitzwater just now starting to catch the tail end of the field right there, but it's a bit too late for that, as you can imagine the disappointment for Zachary Fitzwater, seeing your points leader coming into this race. But right now, Casey Nanako just focusing on hitting his corners just perfect. And remember, any mistake can cost you a race. Right here, Trevor Collins trying desperately to catch Marcus Sachi in the 38. Got really close, maybe try and do a little bump and run, try to get underneath that 38, but it's going to be really difficult in these flat corners. Casey Nanako, as I mentioned, he's definitely going to be a threat for this championship. The points are really tight for the Red Bull Series, so all positions count no matter where you finish. And that's why you can imagine why Fitzwater must be very frustrated. But into the final corners here at Denver, Casey Nanako already has 2 wins this season, and 3 is going to put him on top of the boards. Is out of the final corner, mistake-free, as Casey Nanako in the 28 is going to capture his 3rd win this season. It comes at Denver.
Great driving. Woo! Great job, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it, y'all.
And win number 3, there it is. Casey Nanako scores and does it again. And this definitely is going to make up for last round at Watkins Glen. Marcus Sachi is going to have to settle for 2nd and Trevor Collins 3rd. Definitely not what the 38 wanted. So, because Casey Nanako, he's going to get the win. And, of course, as I mentioned, it's the 3rd of the season. So, after this race, we head to Monaco, and then there will be 3 races remaining to decide a Red Bull champion. We head to Monaco, then this Simmons, I believe is how you say it, then Winton, and back to Valkenburg, back to the Valkenburg circuit for the finale. So season's getting ready to close out here. It's been a fun one so far. Once again, congratulations to Casey Nanako on his 3rd career win. We'll see you for the next race at Monaco. Meanwhile, it's going to be the DC Solar National Series drivers' turn to take on this track, and then of course the Cup drivers, and then they'll head over to Watkins Glen. Here's your standings after the round of Denver.